Hi, my name is Tanisha Simpkins. I want to invite you to tune in to the Table Talk Radio Show, where we'll be having candid conversations about politics, education, fashion, reality shows, what's trending, and more. I want to hear what you have to say. No subjects are off limits. Grab your coffee and tea and let's talk. I'm your host, Tanisha Simpkins.
Welcome back to the Table Talk Radio Show. This is your co-host, Pastor George Rich. And then we also got the host with the most, Tanisha Simpkins. And we have our guest today, Mr. TDOGG.
Yes.
All right, we are fresh back from the break. And the question that I have for is, how long have you been doing gospel rap? Or better question, how long have you been rapping?
Ooh. Okay, next question. Long time. I've actually, years ago, man, I'm talking about years ago, I used to do a lot of writing on the secular side.
Okay.
And a lot of people didn't know the Trick Daddy, Rick Ross, Jagged Edge, and I was just a behind the scene guy that did a lot of the writing.
Okay.
And so I've been around, man, a while, doing music, and it's been awesome.
Do you consider yourself to be a rapper or an artist? And I guess I'm kind of asking because some people put rapper like at the bottom of the scale, and then there's an artist and then there's a rapper, or is there a difference to you?
I'm neither.
Okay.
I'm a minister.
Wow, got you.
Okay.
So that's how we do that. So that's what it is. I just deliver God's word. That's all I know.
Good.
So I don't title it. A lot of people say gospel hip hop, gospel rap. It's just so many different titles. I just let God use me.
Because even when I was writing it, first I put gospel rapper, and then I was listening to the song. I was like, this ain't no rap. It's a music. It's an artist.
Yeah.
So I didn't know.
But that's thank you for the compliment. But a lot of people know, honestly, when I get into doing the music, when I first got saved in 2010, I used to hear about gospel hip hop, gospel rappers, and I would hear it, but it was like so, it was rough. I'm like, whoa, that scared me. And I'm the type of guy, by me having a background of writing, like I said before, R&B singers and different people, I like melodies, I like singing.
Yeah, and the hooks are good.
And I love, so I'm like, well, I'm going to approach this, and God said, no, give it to them your way, where they can understand it, plain and simple, and that's all I did.
Wow.
So now, the album itself, this album,
Street Medication.
Street Medication.
It's my second album.
Street Medication. And when I first listened to the music, even though you just explained it, the first thing I said was, okay, this is like deliverance. You have different ministries. And I was like, this is deliverance. It was that one song, I got to remember which song it was. I think of Where I Could Have Been or something like that. Could Have Been You. And I was like, wow, that's a powerful testimony, from anyone. And I love it.
That song was actually birthed at a red light.
Okay.
Wow.
That's where that song come from. I was at a red light, and a guy came up to my car, and he was amputated from the legs. Both legs was cut off. And so when he came to the car, I said, okay, well, I know he wants some money. So I wrote my money down, and I had the $10 bill, get ready to give it to him. He said, no, I just want you to pray for me.
Wow.
And I said, wow. I said, are you sick? Well, let me give you $20. I said, no, honestly, there's no money you have that can change nothing. That's the power of prayer.
Yeah.
And that they're just like, and as I pulled off from like, God said, it could have been you.
Yeah.
And that was it. I'm like, hey, I'm on my pad, I was riding, and like, that's it. Once I got the hook down, and I got back to my singles, I'm like, this is how I want the melody to go. I want like this. I want this. I want people to feel what I felt when I met that young man.
Yeah.
So that's why I got that song.
Yeah. And it comes across through there. That's And you know that word, it could have been.
It could
That's
have
a powerful word. I mean, I use that often. I think, oh Lord,
we all
probably
got
the same age,
stories.
so we, back in that
We all got
age,
stories.
we got some
We all have
stories.
some stories.
So it could have been me, could have been you, it could have been, should have been, almost was.
Would have been.
Would have been. Yeah, it could have been.
So talking about the quality of your music. Now I like music, and a lot of times gospel rap, gospel hip hop doesn't seem to sometimes have that quality that we may be used to in the secular industry. How do you keep giving us quality music?
Man, you know what, that question, everybody asks that question, and I guess that's why, with the help of God, God first.
Yeah.
But music has elevated so fast and so quick, because people's like, man, this is like music.
Yes.
It's real music. Because my crew will tell you, like my singers, I'm very, very picky. And before I even do music, I let God talk to me, and I'm like, okay, God, I want this to go. Who do you want on this track? Who do you want? And He gives it to me. He lays it out like a blueprint. And when I lay it out, I gotta hear melodies. I love melodies. I love singing. There's all my tracks got almost singing. My whole album.
Yeah.
And I just, people want God. Nobody wants to be yelled at.
Yeah.
We want to be
True.
talked to.
I don't want to pay $35 to go to a concert for you to yell at me.
Yeah, don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Just talk to me.
I don't want to hop around either. I'm at a gospel, rap concert or something like that. Yeah, I done did my hopping days.
But I tell you, but the thing is, like from the Fred Hammonds and the Donnie McClurkins and Marvin Sapp, Mary, that's why normally when they come to town, they're like, hey, get that dude T-Dog. We want him on the ticket. We want him because we can understand his music. It's quality music. Like
yes.
A lot of my tracks that I've done are done by 90% of my album before I got signed over to Florida. I was spending a lot of money on my music, and the first album that I did, Changing Faces, a lot of those tracks are done by guys who got platinum selling artists, their records, and so the average person ain't gonna spend to go in that deep, but I will on me because I know the importance of the quality. That's what landed me a deal. That's what made up things happen.
Yeah.
And but I'm just thankful for
So for a new artist coming, because you just said something that I think is very important, that you didn't start off skimping on your music. Like you went hard and you put your money behind it.
I actually, I had a Bobcat service, a heavy equipment service, and when I was telling my wife what I'm gonna do, I'm like, well, I know I'm gonna do 3 songs, and these 3 songs I'm gonna do, I got to have quality music. I said, so I'm gonna sell one of my machines, and you talking about selling a $40,000 machine, and I took it all and went in on the album, and even after we did that, we still fell short in that first month. The lights was off and the water was off, and we went and stayed with my mother-in-law. And then 30 days later, God called me, and I was on 160 radio stations around the world.
Wow.
Because I believed.
Exactly.
And I done what a lot of people ain't gonna do. So a lot of people ain't gonna do it. And we look at a lot of people who are, we'll say, successful with some of their wealth or wherever they are. But a lot of us never take the time to find out what they really done to get where they really are. And nobody gets to see it. Even the football players. This one guy, a friend of mine, Jason Paul Pierre, who plays for the Giants. I was actually, my son was sick in the hospital, and I had to go to the hospital about 4 o'clock. And as I'm leaving the hospital, I get on 95. I see him running on the side of I-95 at 4:30 in the morning.
Hey,
and I'm saying,
it.
and that's what let him go first round. So I'm saying, like, you have to really, really go hard on whatever you believe in.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of that. I call it a jumper syndrome. I'm a jumper. I see something, I'm here. I see it. I see my destiny. I see everything at the end, and I'm gonna get you.
That's right.
That's me.
And you can't be afraid to fail.
You can't be afraid to fail or anything like
I
that.
sell mangoes.
Yeah, right. That's me. People like, Tanisha, you hustle. No, I don't hustle. I just know what I want.
What you want. That's right. You have to go get it because nobody's giving it to you.
That's right.
Exactly.
And even God wants to see you do the works.
That's
exactly.
right.
You got to put it in.
Faith without works is dead.
Oh, what?
Hello? Yeah. So we're going to take another break, guys. We're going to hear this song. It could have been you. It's an awesome song. Make sure that you go to iTunes and Amazon and download the song at TDOGG 954. You can download it there. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how did he get with Strong Arm Entertainment. Okay, we'll be right back.
You know, so many times we're quick to point fingers and pass judgment on people. And not realizing, if you really thought about it, at any given time, it could have been you.
It could have been you. It could have been you. It could have been you.
Alright, now close your eyes. I'ma take you for a ride. Now sit right there, I'ma let you fantasize. Now imagine your child somewhere in the streets. Come on, strung out bad on drugs without no food to eat. Oh Lord, I done seen that life, cause I was that child. I come from a good old home, but somehow I ended up wild. Going in and out of prison, had my mama stressing. I kept running from the Lord, and all they did was try to give me blessings. Then daddy died, sister died. But I thank the Lord because through it all I still survived. Put God first and don't never change in everything you do. Now open your eyes and imagine.
It could have been you. Walking around in the streets with no food to eat. It could have been you. Wandering in this world, not knowing who to call on or who to hold on to. It could have been you. When I was down to my last dime, nobody wouldn't even give me the time, Lord. It could have been, it could have been you. It could have been, it could have been you.
I done been to the hospitals, I done been to the nursing homes. I done seen people dying cause they heartbroken, they all alone. Ain't nobody worried about mama, they ain't worried about daddy. But when they dead and gone, everybody wanna come and sing a song. Just the other day I saw a man that was eating out the garbage can. I saw a pastor ride by, he ain't even try to lend a hand. See these movie stars and these big rappers, they done learned the game. See they try to give away things to boost their name to get fortune and fame. But they ain't worried about platinum, and they ain't gotta sell gold. I don't wanna gain the world if I have to lose my soul. Put God first and don't never change in everything you do. Now open your eyes and imagine.
It could have been you. Walking around in the streets with no food to eat. It could have been you. Wandering in this world, not knowing who to call on or who to hold on to. It could have been you. When I was down to my last dime, nobody wouldn't even give me the time, Lord. It could have been, it could have been you. It could have been, it could have been you. Say it could have been you. That little girl that man touched. It could have been you. That boy the world gave up on. It could have been you. That family with no food to eat. Nobody but Jesus. Who's a healer? Jesus. A heart fixer. Jesus. A doctor. Jesus. Yes, he is. Jesus. A mother when you're motherless. Jesus. A father when you're fatherless. Jesus. A lawyer in the courtroom. Jesus. It could have been you. It could have been you. Walking around in the streets with no food to eat. It could have been you. Wandering in this world, not knowing who to call on or who to hold on to. It could have been you. When I was down to my last dime, nobody wouldn't even give me the time, Lord. It could have been, it could have been you. It could have been, it could have been you.
Hi, my name is Tanisha Simpkins. I want to invite you to tune in to the Table Talk Radio Show, where we'll be having candid conversations about politics, education, fashion, reality shows, what's trending, and more. I want to hear what you have to say. No subjects are off limits. Grab your coffee and tea and let's talk. I'm your host, Tanisha Simpkins.
you.